Hi there, everyone. My name is Dodie Sobertoto. I am living in Ottawa, Canada at this time. I am working with the practice of the wide view, and came up with some interesting inquiries and some interesting findings, and wanted to share that with the group at this time. And also wanted to add that these inquiries come from my everyday, and my inquiries are very much fed by the coaching work, the somatic coaching work that I do. I work individually with clients and really see the soul motion practice as very foundational in what it is I do. And if anyone out there is interested in how I've got, like, the path that I've taken from the soul motion work and integrating that into coaching, please do contact me. I'm very happy to chat with anyone about that. Okay, back to the wide view. Came about in recognizing that really when I'm in a place of fear, that the recognition that narrow is linked so closely to fear, whether it's in a narrow state of mind, like looking narrowly at the situation or looking narrowly at a person. The somatics of my body is very narrow. And so just recognizing how just including a sense of wide and width really is helpful, is a really helpful practice to bring in when feeling that sense of narrowness. So in playing with the width, these are some things that I stumbled upon, some interesting things or some interesting inquiries that I came across. So one of them was to recognize that a sort of aha moment where it's like, oh, the wide view actually includes the narrow view, right? So I don't actually have to, if one is holding a narrow fear sort of place, or if they're in that sort of a place, that they don't actually have to let go of that, if that's the narrow piece and they widen, I can see how this narrow piece is included in the wide piece. So that's one point of view. Another point of view I recognized is that how one can move to a wide point of view from looking narrow, from starting from narrow, and perhaps starting to include the space around what is narrow, to start to widen out, or just the cue of including, right? And then for me, that directs my attention out to wider. So I think principally what I'm talking about is that we can move from narrow to wide, or that we can move from wide to narrow, that I can come into an inquiry starting from wide, starting from holding a sense of space, and that I can hold this picture of all, and that picture includes all the sort of moving parts within the scenario. So all the moving parts, all the smaller, all the narrower parts are all they're all included in this wider vision. Also playing with, I think that these are pieces that I picked up from Susan Harper. Just recognizing that if I look far and wide, that I can start to include all the pieces of vision closer to me. So this practice of yeah, of looking out and including what's in front and closer and closer and closer. And similarly, but you can start from close and include all of what is behind. So I'm just, as I'm talking to you, I'm recognizing this sense of motion of narrow to wide, wide to narrow, far to close, close to far. And just, without getting into it too much, and without getting into how, like, what this is spurring on for me, I can tell you that, like, I've had so many aha moments, like, this is just in the course of 2 or 3 hours of playing with these concepts, like lots of growth and learning happening for me just in playing with those simple concepts, and in incorporating them into my everyday, and crossing the lines between somatics to business to personal, like, just, like sort of completely mixing up all these different areas, and looking at it through this lens of narrow and wide, and the different patterns in which we can engage, the different movement patterns in which we can engage in this exploration between narrow and wide, and hold the ways that we can move between, and the ways that we can, the various ways that we can hold both at the same time. I will leave it at that and wish you all a good day.